Today we are going to learn keywords, constants, variables and identifiers. In the last class we discussed about the programming languages. What is programming language? History of the C programming language, character set of the programming language, sequential structure of the programming language C, and data types available in the C programming language. Now we are going to learn what are the keywords. So keywords are also called as reserved words. The keywords are reserved words. Uh, for example, if you uh, take a train or bus, some of the seats are reserved. Some seats in a bus, if that in that bus one seat is reserved for conductor and some seats are reserved for women, some seats are reserved for old age people, like that MLA or MP, like that. So these some seats are reserved. In the same manner here in C language some words are reserved. That reserved words are called keywords. The keywords are predefined meaning or fixed meaning. These meanings cannot be changed by the user. Serve as basic building blocks for program statements. In C language, there are 32 keywords are there. They are auto, break, case, char, const, continue, default, do, double, like that. These are 32 keywords are there. So make a note about these 32 keywords. So next one is the constants. In C language there are constants are there. By name itself you can understand constant, the meaning, the value doesn't change during the program execution. The value beginning of the program and the end of the program, middle of the program, the value doesn't change. That value is constant. That is called a constant. Types of constants in C language. There are 5 constants are there. 1 integer constants, 2 floating constants, 3 character constants, 4 string constant, 5 backslash constants. Now we will discuss one by one about these constants. Integer constant. All of you know the what is a integer. So integer means that this a number without a decimal point. The number that doesn't contain the decimal point is called the integer number. So integer constant. Whole numbers are integer constants. It can be either positive or negative. Constant means the number is constant, magnitude is constant, but that may be a positive or negative. Example, 1 is a constant, minus 10 is a constant, 234 is a constant, minus 58 is a constant. So here these are the positive constants, some of the negative constants are there. Second one, floating point constants. All of you know the floating point number. Yes, the floating point number is a number that consists decimal point, a sequence of numeric digits with a decimal point or an exponent or both is called the floating point number. It can be either positive or negative, same as in integer case, integer constants. Here also floating points constants are either positive or negative. Examples, 1.5 minus 3.3 minus 0.2 minus 3 exponent 4, like that. These are the examples for floating point constants. Third type, character constant. Any printable or non-printable single character enclosed in inverted commas. Any printable or non-printable single character. So you will get some doubt. What is the non-printable character? Space is a non-printable character. Backslash n, that is the new line. So space, tab, okay, these are the non-printable characters. Vertical tab, horizontal tabs. Can be either single alphabet, that may be a character. The character may be single alphabet, single digit, single special symbol is treated as a character constant. Not more than single character is allowed. So character, while you are discussing the character data type, it stores only one character. That may be a alphabet, that may be a digit, that may be a special symbol. Examples here, A, that is quoted in single quotes. In between single quotes, A wrote. This is the character constant. In single quotes, capital A written. It is the one more character constant. In single quotes, digit 4 is there. It is the character constant. In single quotes, dollar is there. It is the single character constant. So fourth one is string constant. So in previous slide we discussed character constant. The character constant is a single character. Now we are discussing string constant. Sequence of characters enclosed in double quotes. Sequence of characters. Number of characters. More than one character is enclosed in a double quotes. Here, in string constant, characters may be letters, numbers, special characters, and blank space. Also, it allows. So, character constant is single character, and string constants group of characters, sequence of characters enclosed in double quotes is called a string constant. Example, hello. This hello word is quoted enclosed in double quotes. 1987 is written in double quotes. Well done. Well, and there is a space and done. So as we said, the characters may be letters, numbers, special characters and blank space also. So that's why it allows space between two words, well done, and X in double quotes. These are the example for string constants. Fifth one, backslash character constants. In C language, some backslash characters constants are there. So these are escape sequence because the backslash is considered as an escape character. Backslash n stands for new line. Represents one character although they consist two characters. So here backslash n is it seems two characters but it represents only one character. N for new line. Backslash is for escaping the sequence of original. So used in output functions. So these are the list of backslash characters in C language. Some of the backslash characters. Backslash n, the meaning is it is used to get new line. Moves the cursor to the next line. If you use this backslash n in the printf function, it is moves the cursor to the next line. Backslash b, the meaning is backspace, moves the cursor to the previous position of the line. Backslash a, alarm or bell, produce a beep sound for alert. Whenever you require some alarm, use this backslash character a. Slash backslash t, horizontal tab, moves the cursor to the next horizontal tab position. Backslash 0 to represent null value. Backslash v, vertical tab, moves the cursor to the next vertical tab position. So these are the list of backslash characters used in the C programming language. Backslash n for new line, backslash b for backspace, backslash a for bell or alarm, backslash t for horizontal to give horizontal position, horizontal space, backslash v for vertical tab, backslash 0 for null value. So these are the variables. Variables are used to store the values. By name itself you can understand variable. Constant means the value may not be changed. during the program execution. Coming to the variable, the value may be changed during the program execution. By name itself, you can understand variables varying. The used to store values may take different values at different times during the program execution. So that is only variable names are chosen by the programmer. So the variable names may is chosen by the programmer. Examples: date, time, rate of interest, principal, increment, decrement, average, area, perimeter, like that. We use these variable names. So identifier, the names given by the programmer to the variables used in the program. The names given by the programmer to the variables is called the identifiers. Names given to the arrays and functions used in the program also called identifiers. There are rules to name the identifier. While you are giving the names to the identifiers, variable names, we must follow some rules. The rules are as follows. The only characters that are allowed are alphabets, digits, and underscore. While naming an identifier, you must remember the it allows alphabets, digits, and underscores. The first character must be an alphabet or underscore. So while naming an identifier, first character must be an alphabet or underscore. Keywords cannot be an identifier. In the earlier we discussed keywords. Keywords are reserved words that cannot be used as an user identifier. Lowercase or uppercase letters are significant. White spaces is not allowed for the naming identifier. Without space, for example, rectangle area variable is there or simple interest is there, one identifier. So simple space interest is not correct because the space is not allowed here for naming an identifier. Simple underscore interest is allowed here because there is a continuity is there. Spaces are not allowed in the while naming an identifier. You will get some error. It will be treated as two identifier, simple space interest. So if you give the name as simple underscore interest, it is treated as a single identifier. So these are the rules of the naming identifier. So once again we'll check these rules. The only characters that are allowed alphabets, digits, and underscore for naming the identifier. The first character must be an alphabet or underscore. And third point, keywords cannot be an identifier. Fourth one, lowercase or uppercase letters are significant. White space is not allowed. So these are the rules. for naming an identifier. Now we will discuss operators and its classification, arithmetic operators, expressions, arithmetic expression, evaluation of arithmetic expression. Operators. What is an operator? A symbol that tells the computer to perform certain mathematical and logical manipulation is called an operator. A symbol that tells the computer to perform certain mathematical and logical activities. All of you know the arithmetic operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. The classification of C operators are arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, assignment operators, increment and decrement operators, and conditional operator. These are the operators available in the C programming language. Now we will discuss about arithmetic operators. These are used for mathematical calculations. These can operate on any built-in data types. Plus operator, addition, minus, subtraction or unary minus, multiplication, star, slash, forward slash for division operation, percentage symbol for modulo division. So here the division forward slash, it gives the quotient, it returns quotient. Modulo division, the percentage operator symbol, it returns remainder after integer division. So remember this thing, this is very important. The forward slash is used for performing division operation and it returns the quotient. The percentage symbol, it is used to get remainder after integer division. So these are the examples, simple examples. You are familiar with arithmetic operations. Okay. So a plus b, a minus b, a multiplied multiplication with b, a division b, a modulo b. So integer arithmetic. Arithmetic operations involving only integer operand is called the integer arithmetic. Percentage operator can only be used with integer operands. If a and b are integers, then for a is equal 14 and b equal to 4, we will see some expressions. Integer arithmetic, a minus b. In previous slide, the a value is 14 and b value is 4. So a minus b, it returns the value 10. A plus B. It's adds the B value to A. The value is 18. 14 plus 4. A multiply with B. 14 multiplied with 4. We will get 56. A division with B. 14 divided by 4. Here the decimal part truncated. Here the result value, it returns the quotient only, and the quotient also truncated. 14 divided by 4, you will get 3 only. A modulo B is equal to, you will get 2. It returns the remainder of a division. You remember this modulo operation and division. So the modulo division produces remainder of integer division. Second one, it can be used only on integer type of data, not for floating point of data. The sign of the result is always the sign of the first operand only. Here the sum of examples is there. 14 modulo minus 3. It returns the remainder 2. The sign of the first operand is positive, so the positive 2. Second example, minus 14 modulo of 3. It returns minus 2. The remainder is 2. The sign of the first operand is negative, so the resultant value is negative minus 2. The third example, minus 14 modulo of minus 3. The remainder is 2. The sign of the remainder is negative because the first operand sign is negative. So we'll see some examples on real arithmetic. Arithmetic operation involves only floating or real operand. So modulo operator cannot be used with real operands. If examples, if x comma y comma z are floats, then we will have x is equal to 0.6.0 divided by 7.0 is equal to, you will get 0.85. Y is equal to 1.0 divided by 3.0, you will get 0.85. Z is equal to 3.5 plus 6.0, you will get 9.5. So up to now we saw integer arithmetic and floating point arithmetic separately. Now we will discuss mixed mode arithmetic. Arithmetic operation involves one real operand and one integer operand. Then how the results? In this case, real operation is performed, the result is always real number. So example, 15 division 10.0, you will get 1.5. So real operation is performed, the result is always the real number. So that's why we got 1.5. 15 division 10, we'll get 1. This is not a real operation, it is an integer. 15 division with 10.0 will get 1.5. Expression. What is expression? Combination of constants, variables, and operators arranged as per the syntax of the language is called an expression. So, combination of constants, that may be a number, constant, variables, and operators arranged as per the syntax of the programming language. Arithmetic expression, combination of constants and variables connected by arithmetic operators is called the arithmetic expression. Example, x is an expression, x plus y is an expression, a plus b minus 56 plus 57, it is a one expression, a minus b plus z is a expression. Evaluation of arithmetic expression. The expression is scanned from left to right. While evaluating an expression, the operator with highest precedence will be evaluated first. The operator with least precedence will be evaluated last. The rule that determines which operation is to be performed first is known as operator precedence. Precedence of arithmetic operators. So, in this table, we will observe operator order of evaluation or precedence. Parenthesis is the first precedence. Evaluated first, associativity of is left to right. After that, multiplication, division, modulo. Evaluated second. Associativity is left to right. Plus, minus. Evaluated third. Associativity is left to right. Here is a one example. 3 division 2 multiplied 4 plus 3 division 8 plus 3. So here the operator precedence, first we will perform higher precedence for the division, then division is performed, then next multiplication it performed, again here division is there, 3 by 8 it is performed, then addition and addition. The resultant value is 7. In this way, we will perform the arithmetic operations. We will evaluate the expressions. So here is one more example. Go through it. So parenthesis is the higher precedence. It performs 2 plus 3 addition operation. After that, it performs multiplication 5 multiplied with 4. After that it performs subtraction, then again 20 minus 5 it performs 15 minus 6, like that. These are the operators available in the C programming language. Arithmetic operators: plus, minus, multiplication, division, percentage, modulo. Second one, relational operators: less than or equal, greater than, equal or not equal. Third one, logical operators: and, or, not. Assignment operators: equals, shorthand assignment operators: plus, equal, multiply, equal, minus, equal, division, equal, percentage, equal. Fifth one, increment or decrement operators. Again these are two types, prefix and postfix. Plus plus m, pre-increment, minus minus, post pre-decrement. Postfix, m plus plus, m minus minus. The pre-increment is during the execution of a program while evaluating the expression. In prefix, it increments or decrements the variable and evaluates the expression. In case of postfix, during the evaluation of the expression or program execution, it evaluates first. After completing the evaluation, it increments the value or decrement the variable. Sixth one, conditional operator: single ternary operator and nested ternary operators. Seventh one, bitwise operators and or shift left, shift right, like that. Special operators: plus, minus, size of, pointer, period. These are the operators available in the C language. We will discuss the structure of a C program. Structure of a C program is three parts. In the part 1, documentation section, link or pre-process section, definition section, global declaration section. In part 2, main function. In part 3, we will write the subprogram section, some functions. The documentation section, it consists set of comments, lines used to specify the name of program, the author and other details. These are used when we want to top write numbers of statements which should be ignored by the compiler and also displayed in the program. So The information in documentation section, we will write the information about the program and author of the program and other details about the program we will write. So we will use comment lines slash star. In between slash star and star slash, in between we will write all those information. The compiler will ignore these lines. These lines are displayed in the program, but while during the compilation, the compiler it ignores these text or lines in between slash star and star slash. This is called comment lines. These are called comment lines. The next one is the preprocessor directives. See, preprocessor is a collection of special statements called the preprocessor directives, which are instructions to the compiler. These are written outside the functions of C program. The preprocessor directives are executed before the C program is compiled. That's why it is called as preprocessor directives. Before the compilation only, the preprocessor directives are executed. The preprocessor directives are useful in performing the following actions. Substitution of values including files, conditional compilations. These are usually written at beginning of the program. These are begin with hash symbol and followed by either the keyword include or define or some other specified keywords. These are no semicolon at the end of the preprocessor directives. So while you are executing the first program, in the last class we discussed hello world program. In that we wrote first line hash include stdio.h. That is the preprocessor directive only. Here hash include to include the contents of a file stdio.h header file. That header file is included to that program. Hash define to define a macro, we use the preprocessor directive. The link or preprocessor section. The link section usually contains header files, includes statements. It provides instructions to the compiler to link functions from the C standard library. Header files, example stdio.h, math.h, conio.h, graphics.h. These are helpful to link the preprocessor section. Next one is the definition section. The hash define directive is used to define constants and simple expressions in program. The constants are like pi, hash define phi, 3.14, like that. If you are going to use a constant in your program, use hash define constant name and that value. If you want to change that constant, once you change the constant value in the beginning of the program, that is substituted to in all the program wherever that variable is used in the program. Instead of changing all the values, just we'll change that constant value in the beginning of the program. The next section is global declaration section. This section contains the variables that are used in more than one function. These variables are known as global variables. This section must be declared outside of all the functions. That means before the main function. They may be accessed by any function in your program. Next section is the main function. Every program written in C language must contain one main function which specify the starting of C program. If more than one main function is written, then the compiler gets ambiguity which function has to be executed. It is a blunder mistake. Empty parentheses after main are necessary. No program is executed without the main function. Main function should not be terminated by a semicolon. It is very important. After the main function, we have the declaration part. The declaration part declares all the variables that are used in the executable part in your program. These variables are called local variables. Initialization of variables, declaration of the variables, assigning the values, these are comes under declaration part. After declaration part, executable part is there. This part contains the statements following the declaration of the variables. This part contains set of statements, set of instructions to perform a task, to do a work. After that executable part, subprograms, user-defined functions. The functions defined by a user are called the user-defined functions. They may be written before or after the main function. So, the structure of a C program. Part 1, documentation section, link or preprocessor section, definition section, and global declaration section. In the documentation section, we will write about the program and the author of the program. In the link or preprocessor section, we will write preprocessor directives #include stdio.h or #include conio.h, like that preprocessor directive. In definition section, we will write #define pi 3.14, like that, constants or month, year, like that. In global declaration section, we will declare the global variables we are going to use in your program by all functions. In part 2, main function, we will write the main function. Under the main function, we will declare the local variables, and after the local variable declaration, we will write some set of instructions that are called executable part to do a specific task. In part 3, if necessary, we will write some subprogram functions or user-defined functions. In that user-defined function, again inside we will write some executable instructions. This is the structure of the C program. Okay, thank you.